Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Today, I'm going to bring you not just a little recap, but also kind of my thoughts for two big wrestling events over the weekend. We have AAA TripleMainia Tijuana and Impact Wrestling's own Slamiversary. So, I hope you guys get something to drink, maybe a little bit of a snack, and let's do this. So, first match on the card for TripleMania Tijuana. It is a steel cage match with 7 participants, and the final 2 in the cage will compete in a mask versus mask match later on in the evening. So, participants, we have Flammer, we have Chick Tormenta, we have Lady Shani, we have La Hydrada. I hope I'm saying that right. I do apologize. Maria, Sexy Star the Second, and Yorina Dora. Now, personally, it was a little bit hard for me to keep track of this match because A, there were a lot of people in it, and B, it was in a cage, so it was a little hard to kind of see into the match. However, the action was very good. The use of the steel cage as a weapon was excellent. I always like that in my steel cage-ish matches. And, a lot of escapes, a lot of actually kind of stable infighting, which was interesting because I think a lot of members of Los Toxicas was in there, which was pretty interesting. Last 2 in the match were Flammer and Cheek Tormenta, in which was a fun match, but there was really nothing to it. The match later on will definitely be better, so I'm gonna give this right here. It was a kind of interesting multi-person affair, but like I said, it was kind of hard to keep track of everybody. So, anyway, next match. Another big old multi-person match. This time, a Royal Rumble-esque Battle Royal for whatever trophy it is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Participants, we have Nino Hamburguesa, which is, yes, Big Hamburger. Fitting. Mr. Iguana. Ambrosa Negro the Jr., luchador, very famous. Bestia 666, his father. I think we're actually going to see later on in this match. I think. Charlie Manson. And yes, he looks exactly as you think. Cybernetical, the leader of the Vipers. Dulce Gana, I have no idea who that is. I don't think I've even seen that guy. Heavy Metal, old school AAA guy making his return. Mecha Wolf, the partner to Bestia and former NWA Tag Team Champions. Pagano, bit of a hardcore clown character. Ray XOLO. I don't even know who that is. Like, I think that was supposed to be Ray Horace, but I'm not sure. And the final participant, Mamba, who I believe was a snake. I don't even think I saw that person. Again, it's a match that was kind of hard to keep up with so many people involved. And like I said, I think Bestia's father did get involved as well after the elimination of Mecha Wolf, his tag team partner. Eliminations coming quick. Mr. Iguana, Broso Negro. I think it was down to Hamburguesa and Manson, in which Hamburger said just kind of pulled the ropes down from under him. So, your winner of the Battle Royal, Nino Hamburger. It was pretty much played off as a joke. Um, it was just a little bit of fun before the real serious stuff got to going. Overall, it wasn't a bad match, but I wouldn't say it was that enjoyable. So I'm gonna give this like right here. Not a like I said, not a bad match, but like okay. Next match we have a five-way match for not only the AAA Cruiserweight title, but also for the Latin American title as well. As we have participants Rey Fenix of the Lucha Brothers, Laredo Kid, the Cruiserweight Champion, Taurus, Black Taurus of Decay, also the Latin American Champion, Bandito, former Ring of Honor Champion, very good luchador, and showing up in a couple places, which I'm very happy with. And oddly, the last participant, the AAA Mega Champion, Hijo del Vikingo, which is, I'm surprised he's in here, considering he's already the champion. He's their main champion, which is, I don't know, it's a little odd, but all five of these participants really worked well together. You had a big, it looked like Taurus was going for a top rope move on Phoenix. Then all of the rest of them gave him a little battering on the top rope. And then Vikingo, Taurus with a press slam from the top on Vikingo, which was nuts to look at. A lot of flying from the other guys. Taurus mainly using his sheer strength, which was great to see. On a dive, it did look like Bandito got injured, which he did get stretchered out after the match, in which I hope you get better soon, my man, and I hope to see you on TV somewhere else. Like, Impact, maybe? I don't know. Match finish came with Rey Fenix doing a double stomp to Taurus, I believe. Or maybe it was Laredo Kid. No, it was Taurus. For the 1, 2, 3 winner and double new, Cruiserweight and Latin American Champion, Rey Fenix. Now, after this match, he gets together the other participants, shakes their hand, and then he looks down Vikingo, in which he is actually a former AAA Mega Champion himself before getting beat by Kenny Omega, who is now on hiatus. So we got that to look forward to, and I'm hyped for that. And I'm going to say this was match of the night, big old thumbs up. And I'm going to also give my stamp of, if you haven't seen it yet, go out of your way and watch. Alright, this next match was less of a match and more of a, ECW hardcore war type match. As it's Blue Demon Jr. taking on Pentagon Jr. in the semifinals of the overall loser loses their mask match. Blue Demon with a lot of great power stuff in the beginning. Penta trying to counter, and Blue Demon counters that. Penta trying to use his speed, but it's ultimately not enough. Blue Demon then has I guess it's an extra piece of flooring, which he sets up in a corner and shoves Penta power bombs Penta into for the 1, 2, 3 winner and safe Blue Demon Jr. Moving on to the finals, Pentagon Jr., which I am very surprised by. I don't think they're going to unmask Penta, so we'll see what happens there. I'm going to give this match kind of a thumbs right here. Like, overall, it was fun, but I don't know. There was something about it that felt a little off. Now, next up is the women's mask versus mask match, which was determined by the earlier steel cage match, as you have Flammer versus G Tormenta. And boy, oh boy, was this a little overbooked mess. Like, the wrestling itself wasn't bad. Like, Flammer using a bit of more of her speed, G Tormenta going for more power stuff. Although Flammer did ultimately use some power stuff in the end. Um, both competitors' husbands were in their corners and they kept interfering, which kind of pissed me off, but I think it does make sense. They want to preserve the legacy that their significant other built under the mask. But then out came the stables of each trying to interfere in the match and then ultimately taking each other out, which was it was kind of pointless. So I don't see the like I said, it was a little bit overbooked. Ultimately, Flammer with the big win. 1, 2, 3, and right after you see an emotional Cheek Tormenta. She doesn't really want to do this. She keeps hugging her husband and her teammates. But ultimately, she unhooks her mask, takes it off, almost automatically in tears. And that hit me pretty hard because while overall I don't really understand that well the culture between Lucha Libre and the mask, I do kind of feel bad for this person because now it's pretty much like a reset button. You gotta work your way back up under this new guise. So yeah, technically she's no longer Cheek Tormenta, and yeah, that hit hard. Overall, I'll give this match kind of like right here, just because it was a little bit overbooked and crazy when it really didn't need to be. Next match is a crazy, crazy hardcore war. If you thought Blue Demon versus Pentagon Jr. was crazy, you should see this match. It's Psycho Clown versus Viano 5. Now, Viano 5 has been around a little while since he was in the 90s, he was in the WCW Cruiserweight division, which was kind of nuts to think about, but and Psycho brought out all the toys. He brought out a door. He brought out thumbtacks, in which he ultimately got put through, which was nuts. Middle of the match, Pagano's mask gets ripped in half, and you see the top of his head and his eyes a little bit, and it's something that I never thought I would see. Like, I'm gonna say this right now, Viano 5 still has it. Like, he is a dang good wrestler, and I hope he continues. But overall, Psycho Clown hits his finish, kind of in the thumbtacks, for the 1, 2, 3 winner and safe Psycho Clown, meeting Pentagon Jr. in the finals, in which will be in October for the finale of the 30-year anniversary of TripleMainia. Viano 5. I'm going to give this a thumbs up. This was a bit more off the walls than the Blue Demon Jr. Pentagon Jr. match, and I think that's what it really needed to be, because I think both of these two really had good chemistry, and they did really well together. And finally, our main event. Oh, I forgot again. After the Rey Fenix match, out comes Taya Valkyrie with the Reina de Reinas champion, and she pretty much calls out everybody. Deonna Purrazzo gets named personally, and then she calls out the AEW Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa, AAA, Bloody Impact, everybody. Bring us this match. I would love to see it. And I think everyone in the world is now hyped for it. Anyway, main event time, as we have Los Hermanos Lee, Dragon Lee and Dralistico, aka LFI, as they take on Matt Hardy, and it was supposed to be Jeff, but some things happen that I will not be going over. I'm just going to say, get better soon, Jeff. Instead, he is replaced by who I thought they were going to be replacing him with. Johnny Mundo, Johnny Caballero, whatever you want to call him. John Morrison. Like, I can't believe I called that so right. I'm so happy about that. Matt's Johnny Mundo's doing the Jeff Hardy entrance moves, which is funny. He keeps doing them in the match, which was kind of annoying. Matt Hardy still has it. I cannot stress it enough. Matt Hardy is such a good competitor. He worked well with Dragon Lee. He worked really well with Dralistico. At one point, you had Mundo sitting on the top of the fencing around the ring, and Dragon Lee just dives into him into the crowd, which was insanely nuts to see. Then, after a miscommunication by Hardy and Mundo, in which I believe both members of the other team pushed Hardy into Mundo, and then Mundo got back in the ring, low blow Matt Hardy, so that partnership is pretty much over. Dragon Lee Dralistico hit their tag team finisher and get the win, in which I am definitely okay with that. Was it the best match it could have been? I don't think so. Would I have liked to see Jeff Hardy in this spot? Absolutely. But it overall, it wasn't a bad match. It just had this dark cloud around it that really didn't go away. So overall, I'm just going to give it like a thumbs across. Like, match itself wasn't bad, but overall, it had a... I don't even know how to say it. It had a dark cloud over it. So, that's AAA TripleMainia Tijuana. They will be back in Mexico City October 15th, which I am very excited for. And now, up next, Slamiversary, a show I have been very, very, very much looking forward to. So, we have two pre-show matches. One of them I missed, so sorry to say. It was the Digital Media Championship. God, I hate that name. We have Rich Swann versus Brian Myers. Cardona had to pull out of this match due to injury. Technically, Cardona lost this match to Rich Swann. So technically Swann is the champion, but Cardona gave the title to Myers to defend. And like I said, I didn't really see the match because I was in travel. So, yeah, I'm not going to give it a rating. Technically still Digital Media Champion Rich Swann. And I hope this is the start of something a little bigger for Rich Swann, because the man deserves it. He is so talented and so good. And I feel like he deserves a little bit more. Now for the interesting part of this pre-show, as it is the Reverse Battle Royal. Now, if you do not know the rules of this, I don't blame you, because there's only been one in Impact/TNA history. There's a set amount of competitors outside the ring, and you're fighting to get in. Once a number of competitors get in the ring, those others around the ring are eliminated, and then it turns into a regular battle royal, with the last two standing in the battle royal in a singles bout. Complicated enough for you? Me too. So, competitors. Where? Hold on. There are no competitors. Oh, here we go. So, competitors in the Reverse Battle Royal. We had Eden Prince, which, kind of newish guy to Impact. He's been kind of wrestling all over. Crazy Steve, the other half of the male version of Decay. We have the women also in there. 70-something-year-old Mike Jackson, who wrestled... Who did he wrestle back in the... I want to say it was Rhino? No, it was Moose. That's who it was. Yes, I remember that now. Spider Nate Webb from... I believe it was Game Changer Wrestling, which, that's interesting to see. Raj Singh. Shogun. I don't know who Shogun is, really. I think he was shown in vignettes coming out of Swinger's Dungeon. Don't ask. Slash from the Disciples of the New Church from real early TNA. Zicky Dice, bit of a newcomer, has been teaming with Johnny Swinger. Chase Stevens, one half of the Naturals. I'm surprised he's here. And he's in great shape. I hope he sticks around. Steve Macklin, kind of disappointed he's in this match. Along with Chris Bay. You have Bhupinder Gujar, who is a Indian babyface character. I don't even know how to describe him. Shira, who Gujar has been competing against. David Young, who is Johnny Swinger's ex-tag team partner. Johnny Swinger, and the final participant, Shark Boy, an OG in his own right, and he's put on a couple pounds. I ultimately forget who gets in the ring. I know Shark Boy was one of them. Swinger, I think Shira was in there. I think Chase Owens was in there too, but I don't really. And David Young. Then the big eliminations happen. It's down to 3. Young, Swinger, and Shark Boy. Swinger then betrays Young and eliminates him. He then goes to eliminate Shark Boy. He does. But then at that point, it is the singles match. So Swinger then brings him back into the ring. Gets him up. And then Shark Boy with the chummer, which is, the Stone Cold Stunner. And then pinfall, your winner of the Reverse Battle Royal, Shark Boy. I don't think overall, this match was fun. It was just a stupid thing that I guess showcased not only some older guys, but some younger dudes. Overall, it was fun, but I don't think I can give it a fair rating, because it's just a stupid gimmick that I hope dies off soon. Alright, next up, another Impact slash TNA staple. For the X Division title, it's Ultimate X. Now, basically, what this is, it's a ladder match without the ladder. So the title is hung on these wires, crossing scaffolding above the ring. First man to go up and get it wins the match. Now, participants, we have Speedball Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, fresh off the Best of the Super Juniors, and inclusion in the Bullet Club over in Japan, which is crazy. Alex Zane, one of the last entrants into this match. Andrew Everett, a late replacement for Jack Evans, who got hurt over the weekend in Game Changer Wrestling. Kenny King of Honor No More. And former X Division champion Trey Miguel. And oh my goodness, it started off hot from the start. A lot of, big swings from all these guys. I believe there was one. At one point, I believe it was Ace trying to get to the middle. He then gets kicked off and landed in the ring, which was crazy. At one point, we had Mike Bailey, Zane, I believe Everett was up there, and then they all get hit off, which, it was the right kind of cluster, you know what. Ultimately, Mike Bailey then climbs up the side of the scaffolding, up on top of the, of the wires, unhooks the belt. Your winner, new X Division champion, Speedball Mike Bailey. And I'm going to honestly say it's about dang time. I'm going to give this match a thumbs up. This was classic TNA Impact, and I loved every second of it. Next up, we have the Knockouts Tag Team titles on the line as the Influence, Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood, our champions, take on Rosemary of Decay and the Reina de Reinas champion and the MLW Women's champion, Taya Valkyrie. Interesting, the Influence got a bit of an early advantage, but then Taya slowed everything down. It definitely looked like there was still some distrust between Rosemary and Taya, considering the last time they saw each other, Taya was going to prison, i.e. WWE. Ultimately, very quick match, double spear, double pin, 1, 2, 3. Your winners and new tag team champions, Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary. I'm surprised this didn't go as long as I thought it would. I'm thinking maybe someone got hurt. I'm not sure. Overall, I'm going to give this a right here. The action itself was fine. I just feel like it went a little too fast. Next up, it's Monsters Ball. Now, if you don't know Monsters Ball, basically 24 hours before the match, each competitor gets put in their own isolated rooms and is deprived of light, water, and food for 24 hours. Well, maybe not really, but yeah, it adds to the viciousness of the match. It's also just a no DQ match. When you see Moose come out of his isolation, he's like rubbing his eyes, having a hard time adjusting to the light. Sami Callihan comes out and he's bug-eyed, he's wired, he's crazy. And it's a testament to see how both guys react to that deprivation. So Moose is coming out, he's doing his entrance, and the spotlight hits him, and he's having a hard time adjusting. Sami Callihan attacks from out of nowhere. That, I did not see that coming. He gets them both in the ring. Weapons come out. You have a door with barbed wire on it. You have, at one point, Sami Callihan catches Moose in a plastic trash can, which was fucking freaking nuts. You had, obviously, the thumbtacks, which, of course, little tribute to Abyss. At one point, they have a regular metal trash can, like not normally lip side up, but the bottom on top, and Sammy just power bombs him on it, just crunching it, which is just, oh. Moose looks to spear Callihan through the barbed wire door, ultimately misses, and Sami Callihan just suplexes him into it. Oh, that made me, ugh. And then Sami Callihan has to hit 3 pile drivers to get the win on Moose, which is, oh, it's very fitting. That was a lot of fun and a lot of just make me uncomfortable moments that I absolutely adore from this match. I'm going to give this match a thumbs up, and I'm going to say if you're not squeamish or if you're not ill of heart, go watch it. It was a lot of fun. Next match. Oh, and also throughout the night we had vignettes from a couple of TNA originals. Kurt Angle had one. Sting had one right before the main event. Someone very, very interesting had one. I'll get you to it. Alright, next match. It is for the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team titles. As you have the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, taking on the Briscoe Brothers, the former ROH Tag Team Champions. And I believe Jay was ROH champion for a little bit too. The Briscoe Brothers. This was a hell of a bout. You had Luke Gallows using his power on both guys. You had both Briscoe Brothers trying to outrun each other. You had an early Magic Killer attempt, which the Briscoes blocked. You had a Doomsday Device attempt on Carl Anderson, in which Doc Gallows just punted, I believe it was Mark off the top rope, which was crazy to see. And then ultimately, Magic Killer, 1, 2, 3 winners and new Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers. Now, that's surprising to me because I've heard their Impact contracts are expiring. So, I didn't think they would be sticking around for much longer. They also have, ties to New Japan now, considering they're back in Bullet Club. So, post-match, you have a stare down between the two teams. It looks like they're about to go at it. Then, from the Titantron, you hear, "We find your defendants guilty," as out comes Cowboy James Storm, Wildcat Chris Harris, America's Most Wanted, one of the best TNA original tag teams ever. Sorry, beer money. And they come down. James Storm has a beer. He says, I'm not here to jump anybody. I'm just here to celebrate Impact Wrestling having more respect for tag team wrestling. And I couldn't agree more. So he hands out a beer to the Good Brothers and the Briscoes, water to Chris Harris, because I think he's trying to cut out the stuff, in which, good for him. And they have a beer match, and I love that. If you haven't seen an America's Most Wanted match, go find them. They're fun. They're so good together. I'm going to give the match a thumbs up, and I'm going to give the after party Also a big thumbs up. Now, next up, we have the big old 10-man tag team match player. As you have Honor No More being represented by Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, the OGK, PCO, and Vincent. And apparently Maria's back with them, so she seems to be okay. As they're taking on the Impact Originals. You have Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, Motor City Machine Guns. Frankie Kazarian on loan from AEW. Nick Aldis, the former Magnus, former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, on loan from the NWA. And the final member, bit familiar to Eddie Edwards, former tag team championship partner with the Wolves, Davey Richards from MLW, makes his big Impact return, being introduced by, honestly, someone who I think deserved a little bit of the spotlight tonight, Dixie Carter. Now, I understand the dislike for Dixie. She wasn't the best to run this company, but I'm going to say without her, we don't get that Spike TV, TNA doesn't get that Spike TV deal. So, I think she deserves a little spotlight. The match itself was a little bit nuts. A lot of good tag team moves. We did eventually get a stare down between Richards and Edwards. And yes, they're a former tag team. Eddie then tags out to PCO, in which I believe it was Edwards and Kaz had him in a submission hold. About near the end of the match, you have Kenny King come in and start beating the Impact guys down. And then in comes Tracy Brooks to rip Maria Kanellis down from interfering. At one point, there was a ref bump, which was crazy to think about. And honestly, just outside the ring is senior referee Earl Hebner. He has a regular Impact t-shirt on. Once he gets to the apron, takes it off, ref shirt. That popped me so hard. That was so good. And then I believe it was Davey hit his finisher on, I want to say it was Vincent. I could be wrong. And then the 1, 2, 3 winners, the Impact Originals. Even though this was a little overbooked, I kind of liked the older Impact people getting a little bit of a spotlight. And I just thought it was just stupid fun. And I'm okay with it. Oh, and obviously I forgot. Before the match even starts, Scott D'Amore comes out to his old Team Canada theme and his baseball jersey. That's great. I love little touches like that. That's so much fun. I'm going to give this match a big thumbs up. And despite it being a cluster, you know what? I'm going to give it a must-watch seal of approval. Now, next up, we have another overly complicated match. The Queen of the Mountain match. Now, this is our first Queen of the Mountain match. It has been previously King of the Mountain match, in which it is a ladder match, but instead of taking down a title, you put it back up to win. And then there's also pinfalls for qualifiers and a penalty box, which is very interesting. Okay. Participants, we have Jordani Grace, defending champion Tasha Steele, Chelsea Green, Deonna Purrazzo, who have made a kind of alliance, which that could be interesting for the tag division going forward. And Mia Yim making her big return at the last show, I believe. Match was quick to start with everyone in the ring. Peraza and Green double team a lot of people. I believe Green was the first one to qualify, pinning the champ. And it looks like she's going up. It looks like she's about to, hang the title. But then she gets interrupted by Yim. Then other people get qualified. Oh, and also Mickie James is the enforcer, in which she will lead people to the box, and she's also in charge of handing the person that qualified the title. So, there's that. At one point, Tasha Steele isn't going in the box, and Savannah Evans, who is ringside, is like standing there blocking it. Mickie James kind of throws her into Evans and closes them both in the box. Chelsea Green, later on in the match, Green and Peraza are both qualified. They're going up top on either side. They both stop. They're kind of looking at each other. They don't really know what to do because they don't want to break up this very new friendship. Over comes Jordynne Grace, levels over the ladder into a couple of tables ringside, that was a crazy spot. I hope both are okay. Because that looks like that hurt. Jordynne Grace and Mia Yim are both the last two standing. They brawl for a bit. Grace hits a big old muscle buster on Yim, sets up the ladder, goes up, and hangs it. Your winner and new Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. And honestly, I'm going to say this. It was very well deserved. There's absolute... I am very fine with this match. I'm very fine with the winner. It could have been a little bit better, but for the first time out for the Queen of the Mountain, I'm going to give this a thumbs up. Like, there were some issues I had with it. It did feel a little slow in places. But overall, it was a lot of fun and a nice throwback to a convoluted match. And before we get to our main event, we have the last video message from a TNA alum. And it's exactly who you think it is. The two-time Grand Slam champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Which, honestly, let's face it. This is the payback for Impact allowing Mickie James in the Rumble in January. And that was very nice of them. He had special messages. I still have love for TNA. I hope Impact goes forward into the future. And then he names drops WWE, in which, And our main event of the evening, we have a very, very big match. We have Josh Alexander, the World Heavyweight Champion, defending against Showtime Eric Young. Well, technically not Showtime, it's Violent by Design leader Eric Young. Now, of course, EY has Diener and Joe Doring ringside. Josh Alexander is on his own, although he does have a main event Mafia Kurt Angle style singlet on. Oh, the touches. Match was pretty much a big old TNA tribute. You had a Black Hole Slam at one point. I think we had a big double R spine buster at one point. Ankle locks galore. I think we had a Styles clash. Nothing could put each other away. And near the end of the match, we see Violent by Design cutting away the stuff holding the ring together, exposing the wood underneath. And it looks like EY is going for a pile driver right on it. Alexander escapes. He hits the C4 spike on him. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and still Impact World Heavyweight Champion, Josh Alexander, the walking weapon. And honestly, this has been a hell of a run for Josh. I hope he doesn't lose it soon, but you never know. I'm going to give this match a big old thumbs up. Lot of fun main event. A great tribute to the past. And honestly, I can't say enough about Impact Wrestling and Slamiversary. Top to bottom, it was a very good, very fun-filled show, and I can't wait for more. As in July 1st, we have Against All Odds. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite match from either show. And this weekend, this coming Sunday, we have a big one. We have the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Joint Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I will give my predictions on that on Thursday because, Wednesday is Dynamite and I think they got a few more matches to announce. So, hope to see y'all then. And I shall see you guys next time. Peace.